Welcome to Dark Prehistoric Secrets, where we uncover the most terrifying and mysterious truths of human history. Did you know? Humans were not the first creatures to walk the earth. Beneath our feet still lie secrets, buried for millions of years. Secrets history never wanted you to see. The sun rises over a land both beautiful and merciless. The African savanna, 2.4 million years ago, is alive with sound. Low rumbles of distant thunder, the cries of birds circling above, and the muffled footsteps of herds moving through tall, golden grasses. But hidden within this vast and dangerous world is a small group of beings unlike any other. They are not yet human as we know them, but they are also no longer merely animals. They are Homo habilis, the handy man, the early pioneers of our human story. For them, survival is not guaranteed. Each day is a gamble between hunger and plenty, between life and sudden death. The savanna is both their provider and their predator, a place where opportunity and danger stalk side by side. To understand their lives is to step into a time where the world itself was raw, untamed, and unforgiving. Picture the scene. A group of Homo habilis huddles at the edge of a sparse woodland. Their bodies are small compared to us, short, with long arms still suited for climbing trees. Their faces carry both ape-like and human features, with pronounced brows and wide noses. Yet behind their dark, searching eyes lies something revolutionary: curiosity, awareness, and a spark of problem-solving intelligence. This intelligence will be their most vital weapon. But on this particular morning, it is hunger that drives them. The rains have passed, leaving the grasses high and the earth rich with life. Herds of antelope and zebra dot the horizon. But where prey thrives, predators lurk. Lions prowl silently, waiting for the weak. Hyenas scan for opportunity. And above all, the terrifying shadow of saber-toothed cats rules the land. Still, Homo habilis does not run blindly into danger. Unlike the beasts around them, they are beginning to see the world differently. They observe, they wait, they strategize. On this day, a carcass lies nearby, a wildebeest felled not by their hands, but by nature's ruthless balance. Perhaps it died from disease, or was wounded in the night. To most creatures, it is simply food. To Homo habilis, it is both a gift and a test. The group approaches cautiously, their senses heightened. The smell of blood is thick in the air, and with it, the certainty that they are not the first to find this feast. Hyenas circle at a distance, their laughter echoing as they wait to claim what remains. Vultures descend in flocks, tearing and screeching as they rip the flesh. Yet still, the early humans step closer, gripping stones in their hands. These stones are no ordinary rocks. They have been carefully chosen, flaked, and sharpened to form the first true tools. Here lies the turning point in human history. For the first time, our ancestors wield more than their bodies. With these tools, they can scrape meat from bone faster than teeth alone would allow. They can break bones open to reach the rich marrow within, a calorie-dense food source that will fuel the growth of their hungry brains. One member kneels beside the carcass, his hand steady as he uses a sharp-edged stone to slice. The cut is clumsy, but effective. Strips of meat come free. Another member smashes at a bone, striking again and again until it cracks open. The group eats quickly, nervously, casting glances into the tall grass. They know time is short. Suddenly, a sound, a low growl carried on the wind. The hyenas are no longer waiting. They rush forward, snapping and snarling. Chaos erupts. The small band of Homo habilis scatters, clutching what scraps of meat and marrow they can carry. Their hearts pound as they retreat, knowing they cannot match the strength of these scavengers. Yet even in retreat, there is triumph. They have fed. they have survived another day. This is the rhythm of life for Homo habilis, not the dominance we imagine of modern humans, but a fragile existence balanced between bravery and caution. Each small victory, a piece of meat, a safe night, a tool sharpened, is a step in a long journey toward survival. But survival is not only about food. As dusk falls, the group gathers together in the safety of a thicket. The air grows cool, and the sky turns crimson before darkness claims the land. The savanna at night is a place of terror. Eyes gleam in the shadows, and the distant roars of lions echo across the plains. For these early humans, safety lies in numbers. They huddle close, their bodies pressed together, their breaths shallow. Every rustle in the grass makes them freeze. In the quiet moments, though, something remarkable happens. They communicate, not with words as we know them, but with gestures, grunts, and the beginnings of shared understanding. They point, they signal, they comfort. Slowly, piece by piece, they are building something invisible yet powerful: culture. For the children in the group, every day is a lesson. They watch the adults select stones, learning which ones are best for cutting. They mimic movements, trying their small hands at flaking. They learn which fruits to eat and which to avoid, which trees offer refuge and which hide snakes. Knowledge is survival, and survival depends on sharing. Without it, their fragile band would crumble. But the world they inhabit is merciless. Tomorrow could bring rain that washes away food, or drought that cracks the earth. Tomorrow could bring predators lurking near the waterholes, or rival groups competing for resources. Tomorrow could mean loss. And yet, against all odds, Homo habilis continues. Their journey is one of constant struggle, but also of constant progress. Every tool they shape, every strategy they attempt, every lesson passed from one generation to the next is a step toward the future. They do not know it, but they are writing the first chapters of the human story. It is a story of survival, of adaptation, of courage in the face of overwhelming odds. A story that begins here, in the wild heart of Africa, under the blazing sun and the watchful eyes of predators. A story that will one day lead to us. And as the night deepens, with danger all around, the small band of Homo habilis drifts into uneasy sleep. Tomorrow, the struggle will begin again. Dawn breaks once more. The pale light of the rising sun spreads across the savanna, painting the land in shades of gold and amber. For the small group of Homo habilis, morning brings both relief and urgency. They have survived another night, but survival is not enough. Their hunger gnaws at them, demanding action. The group stirs, stretching their limbs, scanning the landscape. The adults are alert, tense, already searching for signs of danger or opportunity. Children cling to their mothers, curious eyes wide as they watch and learn. In this world, childhood is fleeting. To be young is to prepare, to absorb every lesson. For one mistake can end a life in an instant. Hunger drives them forward. Water holes are the veins of life on the savanna, but they are also traps, magnets for predator and prey alike. The group approaches cautiously, staying downwind, scanning the muddy banks. The air smells of decay and damp earth. A few hippos snort from deeper water, their massive bodies submerged, their eyes barely above the surface. Crocodiles lurk unseen, waiting with prehistoric patience. The group doesn't linger. They drink quickly, scooping water with their hands, constantly scanning the horizon. Their survival depends on vigilance. A single lapse could mean ambush by lion or leopard. But water is not enough. They need food. Hunting, as we think of it today, is far beyond their means. They lack weapons powerful enough to bring down the great beasts of the savannah. Instead, they rely on ingenuity. Scavenging is their greatest tool, finding what others leave behind, daring to steal scraps from predators, daring to test the boundaries of courage. As the sun climbs higher, the group follows the circling of vultures. To the untrained eye, the black silhouettes drifting above seem random, but to Homo habilis, they are signals. Something has died, or is dying. Opportunity lies ahead. The journey is long, and the heat punishes them. The grasses sway around their bodies, concealing snakes and hidden dangers. A rustle sends a jolt of fear through the group, but it is only a warthog darting away, squealing as it vanishes into its burrow. Still, the tension lingers. Every sound could be life or death. Finally, they arrive. A zebra carcass lies in the dust, its flanks torn open, blood drying under the relentless sun. It is a scene of both horror and salvation. Already the scavengers' hierarchy has begun. Jackals pick at the edges, snapping at each other. Vultures tear at the softest parts, their wings beating furiously as they fight for space. But the kings of the carcass are not here yet. The lions have moved on, their bellies already full. For now, the zebra is unclaimed. The group does not hesitate. With sharp stones in hand, they rush forward, grunting and gesturing, driving off the smaller scavengers. Jackals yelp and scatter. Vultures rise in a flurry of wings. For a few precious moments, the meal is theirs. Hands work quickly. One individual scrapes flesh with determination, while another smashes at a rib to reach marrow. The sound of stone striking bone echoes harshly in the still air. The smell of blood clings to their skin, to their hair, to their tools. The children watch closely, eyes wide with fascination. Some imitate the motions, fumbling with smaller stones. Every action they see is an instruction for the future. In these moments, teaching is not spoken, it is lived. But time is short. A low growl rises from beyond the grasses. Hyenas. Their laughter, eerie and mocking, grows louder. A pack emerges, jaws snapping, eyes gleaming with hunger. They outnumber the small band of Homo habilis easily. Fear surges, but so does determination. The group does not surrender immediately. They snarl, they wave their arms, they shout, they hurl stones, a primitive but daring act of defiance. For a brief instant, the hyenas hesitate. The early humans seize their chance, grabbing what meat and bone they can carry before retreating. The confrontation is over as quickly as it began. The hyenas fall upon the carcass, tearing and crunching, while the small group escapes into the brush, their hearts pounding with the thrill of survival. Though driven away, they have succeeded. Each strip of meat, each fragment of marrow is a triumph. For creatures whose existence is so precarious, these scraps are the difference between strength and weakness, between life and death. Later, in the shade of an acacia tree, the group eats. The children chew on bits of bone, sucking at the marrow. Adults gnaw at the meat, their teeth tearing at the fibers. The taste is wild, gamey, rich in fat and protein. It is more than nourishment. It is the fuel that will shape their destiny. For with each meal like this, their brains receive the energy to grow. Unlike the purely plant-based diets of their ancestors, this new reliance on meat changes everything. Slowly, invisibly, the wiring of their minds is being transformed. Curiosity deepens, problem-solving sharpens, memory strengthens. The march toward humanity accelerates. But the savannah does not forgive complacency. As night falls once more, danger returns. The group retreats into trees, climbing with practiced ease. Though their bodies are evolving for the ground, their arms remain strong, their fingers curled and capable of gripping branches. Here, high above the earth, they find uneasy rest. Below, the predators prowl. A lion roars, its voice reverberating through the darkness. The group trembles, holding tightly to one another. Yet even in fear, bonds are strengthened. Survival is not only about meat and marrow, it is about trust, about togetherness. Alone, they would perish. Together, they endure. In these fragile connections, we glimpse the first threads of humanity's social fabric, the instinct to protect, to nurture, to belong. As stars wheel across the night sky, unseen but felt, the group breathes in rhythm. The dangers of the day are behind them, but new challenges await with the coming dawn. The world is vast, merciless, yet filled with possibility. Each day they endure, each night they survive. They move one step closer to becoming us. This is the life of Homo habilis, a life of danger, ingenuity, and resilience. A life in which every scrap of food, every shared glance, every sharpened stone is a miracle of survival. A life lived on the razor's edge of existence in a world that demanded nothing less than relentless courage. Morning light filters through the canopy, its warmth breaking the chill of the night. The group of Homo habilis awakens slowly, stretching stiff limbs and blinking at the rising sun. The memory of predators prowling below still lingers, but daylight offers a fragile sense of safety. With daylight comes hunger once again, that constant reminder of their fragile existence. The savanna is alive with movement. Herds graze in the distance, their hooves stirring up clouds of dust. Birds soar overhead, calling out across the expanse. For the small band of early humans, every sound, every shadow matters. The land is both a banquet and a battlefield, and only those who adapt can claim its rewards. Today, they will do more than scavenge. Hunger drives innovation, and innovation demands courage. Some in the group carry stones sharpened to edges, tools painstakingly chipped and flaked. These tools are crude, but revolutionary. They transform bare hands into something far more powerful. A plan begins to form. They have learned to read the rhythms of the savanna, to watch and wait for the right moment. Predators do not always finish their kills. If they are distracted or driven off, food can be stolen. And so, the group begins to track, not by scent or speed, but by patience and observation. They follow vultures again, those tireless messengers of death. The sky tells its secrets to those who know how to read it. High above, black shapes drift in slow circles, guiding the way. Beneath, the grasses sway with unseen life, the whispers of prey moving cautiously. The band advances, cautious yet determined. Ahead, they find their opportunity. A young antelope lies wounded, its flank torn by a predator's bite. The attacker is gone, perhaps chased off or satisfied by easier prey. The antelope struggles, its breath ragged, its legs trembling. For Homo habilis, this is not only a meal, it is a test of courage. They surround it, hesitant at first. Their hearts race, their instincts scream to flee, yet hunger pushes them forward. One member steps closer, gripping a stone. With a sharp blow, the struggle ends. The group erupts in motion, tools flashing as they work quickly. For the first time, they are not just scavengers. They have claimed a kill of their own. The meat is divided, consumed in haste. Children chew on small scraps, their eyes wide with both fear and pride. This moment marks something new in their world. No longer entirely dependent on the leftovers of beasts, they have taken a step toward becoming hunters themselves. But triumph never lasts long on the savanna. Danger is always near. The scent of blood travels far, carried on the wind. Soon, A shadow emerges, sleek, powerful, merciless. A leopard slinks from the grasses, muscles rippling beneath its spotted coat. Its eyes gleam with hunger as it fixes on the carcass and those who dare claim it. The group stiffens, panic rippling through them. The leopard snarls, stepping closer. For a heartbeat, time seems frozen. Then, in a burst of survival instinct, the early humans act. They shout, they wave their arms, they brandish their stones. It is a display of desperation, of defiance. The leopard hesitates, uncertain. It is a predator, but it is also cautious, unwilling to risk injury. At last, with a final growl, it retreats into the tall grass, vanishing as quickly as it appeared. The group exhales, trembling with relief. They have faced one of the savannah's deadliest hunters and survived. The victory is not total, but it is enough. Later, in the shade, they rest. The children mimic the actions of the adults, clumsily striking stones together, trying to recreate the sharp edges they have seen. These lessons are unspoken, passed down not with words, but with imitation and practice. Every attempt, every mistake, every success lays the foundation for the future. This is how knowledge travels across generations, not as instruction, but as example. A young one cracks a stone and beams at the jagged edge, showing it proudly. The adults grunt approval. In that moment, the first sparks of teaching ignite. Evening falls again, painting the horizon in shades of crimson and violet. The savannah grows quiet, save for the distant roars and cries of creatures preparing for night. The group gathers together, pressing close, seeking comfort in numbers. They do not yet control fire. Darkness is still the realm of predators, of fear. But within their huddled circle lies something powerful, the beginnings of trust, of cooperation. One of the older members watches the children with tired eyes. Experience has etched lines of survival into his face, though words cannot yet capture them. He knows the dangers of this world, the constant risk of death. Yet he also knows something else. Survival is not only about strength, but about togetherness. Alone, none could endure. Together, they carve a path forward. As the night deepens, the stars blaze above, countless and cold. To Homo habilis, they are not yet objects of wonder or science, but silent companions in the darkness. Beneath that vast sky, they close their eyes, unaware that they are shaping the future of humanity. For their lives are not meaningless struggles. Each choice they make, each tool they craft, each scrap of meat they taste carries weight. Step by step, they are climbing a ladder invisible to them, but vital to us. A ladder that leads from survival to dominance, from instinct to thought, from animal to human. They cannot know it, but the story of humanity is being written in their footsteps, in their hunger, in their fear, and in their fragile victories. Tomorrow, new challenges await. Rival groups may cross their path. Predators may stalk them from the shadows. The rains may bring floods, or the sun may bring drought. Every dawn is both a blessing and a trial. But they will face it together, guided by instinct, strengthened by courage, and armed with the tools that mark the beginning of our journey. And so, beneath the endless African sky, Homo habilis endures. Thank you for watching this journey into the life of Homo habilis. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. And remember, in our next video, a hidden secret of survival awaits, one that could completely change what you think you know about our earliest ancestors. The savannah may be harsh, unforgiving, and unpredictable, but within the struggle lies the seed of resilience. Every hunt, every danger faced, every lesson learned is part of a story that stretches across time, the story of humanity itself. The journey continues, and the secrets of survival are waiting to be revealed in the next chapter.